We're going to break away to this leaked government report, which could see major changes to the running of football. A new charter is reportedly about bringing in new regulations on potential owners, which could see fans having much more of a say. We can get more on this with Rob Harris. Yeah, what about this leaked report? What do you know?
Well, here at Westminster, we're expecting the release next week of the white paper that would introduce a regulator for English football, similar to, many might know, like Ofgem for gas, Ofcom for the broadcasting industry, and it would oversee how football is run, particularly over who is owning clubs. Now, of course, we already know there is an owners and directors test in the Premier League, in the EFL, but that's seen as not being perhaps rigorous enough, and this would be a beefed up operation to actually determine who is suitable to be an owner. Suggestions, would it stop? Roman Abramovich had bought Chelsea in 2003. We've seen in the last year how he was sanctioned and forced to sell Chelsea. Well, that is questionable because back in 2003, when he bought Chelsea, Russian investment was welcomed in the UK. There were close government ties with Russia. So it's not clear necessarily how rigorous it would be in terms of preventing the owners that some might not want within English football. And also, it will be assessing a potential regulator. Do new owners have the funds to fund their plans for the club? Are they sustainable, the business models, before they take over a club? So there'd still be a focus on just how strong would the investigatory powers be of the regulator to assess overseas income and wealth. Is the wealth all that it would appear to be? So something that would very much be focused on. Also, we'd seen that focus with the Newcastle buyout by Newcastle and the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia. Well, no suggestions whether there'd be sort of human rights checks in terms of the new ownership. Currently, the Premier League does, of course, have rules, as do the EFL, so they do exist. So we are getting some indications of what powers the new football regulator could have if this legislation does go through. But for a lot of people, they want to perhaps within the game see more wealth from the Premier League redistributed down the pyramid. That's something that there is a focus on from the football regulator, but maybe only if there is a logjam between Premier League, EFL and FA, if there isn't a deal coming together rather than it being imposed. And at the moment, there is this new deal for football currently being negotiated. The Premier League is in talks with the EFL and others about just how much flows down. And for many, some of the details still we expect to see. How will the grassroots game benefit? Will there be more wealth coming down the pyramid from there? And finally, one of the other main things which we saw with the attempted breakaway by the 6 English clubs for the Super League in 2021, the regulator would have to approve entry to any new competitions by clubs.
Rob, for now, thank you very much indeed.